Chosen one, this is a celestial interruption, a hallowed appointment etched into the very core of your being. You didn't just happen upon this place. He guided your steps here, and today the curtain starts to ascend. You were marked for demise, not once, not twice, but on 3 occasions. 3 times the adversary sought to claim what rightfully belongs to the Most High. Yet death bypassed you. Now you must contemplate the reason. Have you ever walked away from a moment stunned that you were still breathing? Felt time shatter as if something unseen guarded you? A vehicle missed you narrowly? A scene of disorder that you departed from just in time? An affliction that should have ended your life? A gloom that tried to consume your thoughts? And still you persist inhaling, conscious, transformed. This is not haphazard, it's not fortune. It is inscribed, He will commission His envoys concerning you to safeguard you in all your paths. Psalm 91:11. Your existence has been maintained with accuracy. Heaven didn't just preserve you out of compassion, it did so with intent. Because your fate could not be annulled. Your assignment could not be substituted. Your presence on this planet is an act of divine maneuvering. The foe observed the gravity of your summons and attempted to terminate you prematurely. Heaven proclaimed, the narrative is incomplete. You've sensed the stirrings, haven't you? The perception that time itself is bending, that something within you is awakening, that peculiar hush before everything transitions. That's not fantasy, that's recollection. Your soul is beginning to recall what your mind neglected. This is the juncture where everything starts to harmonize, the conflict, the near-fatal events, the persistence. All of it has culminated here. And it's not solely for your advantage. It's for all those linked to your calling. Your postponement was never rejection, it was preparation. Now, as you advance into this divine capacity, type Amen in the comments below. Affirm your readiness. Designate this instant as the commencement of your return to purpose. And remain until the conclusion, because we will finalize with a supplication that seals everything heaven has initiated. The hour is now. Let us begin. What is divine protection? What is divine protection? And why does death continue to evade you? Chosen one, the truth is straightforward. You weren't supposed to succeed, not by earthly criteria. The distress, the brutality, the ailment, the hopelessness. It should have devoured you, but it didn't because something sacred stood as a barrier. That something is divine protection. This isn't superstition. It's not mere endurance. It's not that you were mightier, wiser, or more entitled than others who perished. Divine protection is the unseen safeguard positioned over lives designated by purpose. Before I sculpted you in the uterus, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. Jeremiah 1:5. Chosen ones frequently start life amidst turmoil, broken households, inherited afflictions, inner agony. But from the very outset, there were imperceptible hands steering you clear of catastrophe. A confrontation that never materialized, a path you declined to pursue, a delay that rescued your existence. Those weren't random occurrences. That was intervention. Consider Elijah pursued, fatigued, concealed in a cavern, ready to expire. Yet even there, angels supplied him sustenance. Even there, he was enveloped. Even there, the mission had not concluded. Death has approached you, it scrutinized you, it hovered nearby. But heaven declared, not yet. Not because you earned it, but because your mandate is still operational. There are still shackles you are meant to sever. Individuals only you can access. Pronouncements only you can utter. And protection doesn't always arrive in tranquility. Sometimes it manifests as seclusion, agony, an entrance that slammed shut just before you entered. You believed you were being penalized when, in reality, you were being preserved. Even when you lamented, "Where is God?" He was precisely there, obstructing what would have destroyed you. Though I traverse the vale of the shadow of death, I will dread no harm, for you are accompanying me. Psalm 23:4. Therefore remember this, your survival is not accidental, it is affirmation. You were spared, sheltered, and sanctified for this specific era. Death made an attempt and it failed. Now conduct yourself like one who has been enveloped by fire. The first escape, an early declaration. Your initial deliverance wasn't fortuity, it was a proclamation. Long before you acknowledged you were chosen, your spirit was already under siege. The enemy detected your radiance before you ever discovered your voice. It acted swiftly, hoping to annihilate what heaven had barely begun to unfold. That first assault wasn't merely physical, it was spiritual. Some of you encountered it in the womb. Complications, near fatalities, distress before taking a breath. Others were confronted with sickness, mishaps, mistreatment, or terror so profound it plagued your youth. It seemed like conventional suffering, but it wasn't. It was the inaugural attempt at spiritual murder. The foe doesn't await your ascent to power. It fears what you will evolve into, so it strikes while you are defenseless. But even then, divine protection was present. You were covered before you were aware of it. The Lord will shield you from all affliction. He will vigilantly guard your life. Psalm 121:7. And he did. That instant you almost suffocated, but assistance arrived. That unfathomable illness that departed as abruptly as it surfaced. The persistent terrors, the accidents that defied logic. Behind every one of those episodes, there was conflict. Heaven was contending for you. Some of you were marked from the start, feeling too acutely, perceiving what others couldn't, envisioning what later materialized. That wasn't conjecture. That was the gift beginning to glimmer. It rendered you sensitive, yes, but it also made you powerful. For you, survival was more than a chance event. It was intertwined with assignment. The first time death missed you, something transformed. A gateway opened. You began to feel more profoundly, contemplate differently, carry a burden you couldn't rationalize. That moment roused you. It branded you. You walked away not just alive, but awakened. You didn't escape by chance. Your timeline was secured. Your purpose couldn't be interrupted. Heaven proclaimed, the account is not over. From that moment onward, nothing in your life was typical. You were being molded in fire, not for destruction, but for destiny. Consequently, if your inception felt heavier than most, it's because you survived what others never could. And you were never meant to depart unaltered. The second escape, the collapse within. Your second escape was not from projectiles or blades, but from the implosion within. This time, death didn't pound loudly. It crept in silently through exhaustion, through silence, through the gradual dissipation of hope. You weren't battling for your physical form. You were battling for your cognition. And though the world around you may have observed someone functioning, grinning, progressing, internally you were disintegrating. That was a spiritual offensive, one far more subtle but no less fatal. The enemy, realizing the initial attempt failed, altered strategies. It shifted inward, feeding you falsehoods veiled in your own internal monologue. You're inadequate. You're too damaged. There's no motivation to persist. It warped your perceptions, obscured your purpose, poisoned your happiness. You may have endured extended periods of melancholia, solitude so oppressive it resembled suffocation, or anxiety that made even simple duties feel impossible. Perhaps no one observed it, but heaven did. The Lord is proximate to the heartbroken and saves those whose spirit is crushed. Psalm 34:18. Some of you were in harmful environments that depleted your inner essence. Others bore unseen afflictions no one else could comprehend, and still you persevered. Perhaps not audibly, perhaps not elegantly, but you triumphed. And that was no insignificant feat. This wasn't merely survival, it was sacred defiance. You were pursued because your very existence disquiets darkness, not through rhetoric or might, but through being. The adversary couldn't destroy you, so it attempted to sever you. Not to extinguish the physical body, but to convince the mind to relinquish hope. But divine protection intervened. A suggestion of optimism, a melody at the opportune instant, a companion who telephoned, or perhaps a dawn that didn't feel so burdensome. That was not arbitrary chance, it was salvation. Your tears were not disregarded. Your silence was not hollow. Angels respond to capitulation even when it occurs without utterances. That internal preservation unveiled your ultimate asset. Your mind, though weary, remained a field of victory, and when gloom witnessed you still breathing, still ascending, still aspiring, it retreated. Because you are not just chosen, you are formidable now. What tried to inter you became the very foundation you now emerge from. What almost ended you has rendered your purpose unshakable. You did not surrender, you were delivered. And your rebound is proof that divine protection doesn't just preserve the body, it rescues the soul. The third escape, confronting form. The third instance death approached, it had substance, it had mass, it had aggressiveness. This wasn't an emotional breakdown or a spiritual murmur in the night. This was flesh, bone, steel, a tangible moment where time decelerated and eternity held its breath. You were in peril, without question. A collision, a brutal action, a faltering pulse, a misstep that should have cost you everything. You may have overheard someone later remark, "You are fortunate to be alive." But you in heaven perceived the truth. It wasn't luck, it was intervention. Though they concoct malice against you and devise wicked strategies, they cannot prevail, for you will compel them to retreat. Psalm 21, 11-12. You weren't simply enduring, you were defended. Sacred hands intervened and rewrote the conclusion. A split second too soon, and you would have been gone. A slightly altered trajectory, and it would have been finalized. But it wasn't because heaven decreed, not this time, not this individual. Some of you bear scars from that day. Others retain only a recollection, vague yet vivid. Regardless, you were seized mid-fall, plucked from the verge, retrieved from an event that should have terminated your existence. Why? Because the story remains incomplete. The work within you is not yet done. Your hands still possess healing. Your voice still transmits awakening. Your very respiration still contains instructions encoded within it. The enemy understood your calling carried too much significance to be left unhindered. That's why death keeps circling and failing. You've traversed fire, and now you walk with spiritual authority. You've witnessed the extremity and returned with clarity. This wasn't just survival, it was confirmation. Confirmation that your purpose surpasses pain. Confirmation that heaven holds veto power over the adversary's scheme. And now, with every escape behind you, a transformation has occurred. You are no longer merely protected, you are equipped. The activation from survivor to vessel. Your life isn't an accident. Your delays weren't deviations. They were divine placement. 3 confrontations with death, 3 celestial interventions. Each one certified the truth. You were never just enduring, you were being deployed. You were preserved not to simply exist, but to unleash what heaven implanted within you. And that purpose, it's still unfolding. You don't need to inquire if you're marked by heaven. Your survival has already provided the answer. The evidence isn't in titles or accolades. It's inscribed in your life narrative. Instances you weren't supposed to live through. Distress that molded rather than shattered you. Every escape was a communication. You are still required. You are still evolving. You are still enveloped. What felt like chastisement was heaven's method of positioning you for power. Each encounter with demise didn't just spare you, it energized you. These events fractured the illusion of this realm and opened your vision to what is genuine, timeless, spiritual. Near death doesn't leave you unchanged. It reconfigures you. Sensitivity becomes discernment. Intuition becomes direction. Invoke me, and I will reply to you and impart to you great and unfathomable matters you are unaware of. Jeremiah 33:3. After each escape, your perspective shifted. The fire didn't just save you, it re-engineered you. What once felt like hypersensitivity is now spiritual insight. You began detecting what others overlooked, sensing energy shifts before anyone spoke, discerning patterns in chaos. This isn't speculation, it's spiritual heritage. When death eludes you, heaven affixes a mark upon you. Dreams become sharper. Timing feels sacred. Doors close, but not without significance. These alterations are not haphazard. They are adjustment. You've walked through fire, and now you wield it. And yes, some of you feel belated, postponed, as if the world moved forward while you waited in silence. That's not failure. That's purification. Divine destiny often conceals you until your spirit is sufficiently keen to bear the demands of your calling. Every hindrance was a rerouting, every delay a recalibration. The vision awaits its designated moment. Though it persists, await it, it will assuredly materialize. Habakkuk 2:3. The enemy recognized your design early. That's why the attack commenced before you could protect yourself. It knew your pronouncements would disrupt establishments, that your existence would bring solace to others. So it assaulted swiftly through distress, desertion, confusion, not to obliterate your physical being, but to fragment your identity, to make you forget your essence. But heaven intervened repeatedly. You didn't just survive, you awoke. You've traversed boundaries others fear to approach. You're not behind schedule. You're being propelled at a divine velocity. What was deferred is now converging. What was submerged is now ascending. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are becoming. And when your appointed hour arrives, the world will recognize what heaven already knew. You were preserved on purpose, for purpose. Alignment. Living the chosen life. You weren't born into tranquility. You were born into contention. That was never an oversight. Souls selected to alter generational patterns are seldom born into peace. You were sent to interrupt, to rouse, to reconstruct. And that kind of purpose invariably provokes resistance. The foe saw your latent capacity long before you did. It identified the template of a healer, a disruptor, a voice that would awaken others. That's why the assaults came early through trauma, uncertainty, betrayal. Not because you were vulnerable, but because your brilliance was dangerous. The Lord summoned me before I was born. While I was in my mother's womb, He designated my name, Isaiah 49:1. But here you stand. You did not fracture. You did not lose your composure. Every failed attempt only corroborated what heaven already declared. You are chosen. You're still emerging, still unfolding. The gloom tried to cancel your destiny, and heaven pronounced no. Now that you've survived, you must live with intentionality. Survival was only the beginning. Now comes synchronization. You've become spiritually noticeable. Your light can't traverse life unobserved anymore. This signifies your vitality must be safeguarded. Above all else, safeguard your inner core, for everything you execute emanates from it. Proverbs 4:23. Discretion is your defense. Now that heaviness you sense in certain spaces, the unease around particular individuals, that's not over anxiety, it's your internal gauge. Your sensitivity isn't a defect, it's spiritual awareness. Respect it. Protect your serenity like sacred territory. You no longer possess the luxury of spiritual negligence. Boundaries are not arrogance, they are persistence. Not everyone is destined to accompany you now. And that's not rejection, it's divine segregation. Your practice is prayer, silence, note-taking. Abstinence are not mere customs, they're instruments. They synchronize your soul with divine timing. They sustain your spirit's alignment with the Creator. You've witnessed what occurs when your defense falters. Now you live consciously, and with every escape, you were refined. Not erased, but reconstituted. You're not the same. You don't perceive through the same perspective. You don't pursue commotion. You're attracted to composure, authenticity, substance. After traversing fire, your silence resonates more profoundly. You no longer implore to be understood. You are comprehending. You've paid in anguish, but the reimbursement is purpose. You've become a receptive instrument, and now every move you make is infused with significance. Every inhalation is on a mission. This is your current reality. Not just breathing, but activated. Not just selected, but honored. The seal, a declaration of readiness. You were never commonplace, and your existence confirms it. When you enter a locale, the atmosphere shifts. Some draw closer, others recoil, not due to your appearance, but because of what you embody. There's something ancient in your spirit, something heaven encoded. You're not just noticed, you're felt. You are the illumination of the world. A settlement situated on an elevated position cannot be obscured. Matthew 5:14. You were designated not by humanity, but by the Supreme Being. You no longer require a claim. You were verified by fire, protected in the gloom, maintained when you didn't even realize you required deliverance. That recognition is inherent in you now. It's why you move with tranquility when everything around you fractures. Why you don't succumb to pressure, why your stillness speaks louder than clamor. You were preserved to evolve into a conduit of restoration, clarity, and veracity, healing, frequency, clarity, truth. The world still requires what resides within you. You've become a reflector, showcasing what others cannot yet see in themselves. Not because you're impeccable, but because you confronted what many dread: desperation, surrender, near annihilation. And still you stand, not injured, but more insightful. You are no longer merely a survivor. You are a vessel on assignment. We possess this valuable asset in fragile containers to demonstrate that this overwhelming might originates from God and not from us. 2 Corinthians 4:7. If you ever question your transformation, examine closely. You are the living testimony of divine intervention, a mobile forecast, a vessel roused and refined. Final confirmation. And to the one still uncertain, still grappling with the authenticity of it all, yes, it was genuine. Those escapes, those narrow misses, that inner impulse that halted you precisely in time, that was heaven. Not mere persistence, not coincidence. You didn't invent it. The jeopardy was real, but so was the safeguard. You were conditioned to question the language of your inner self, but your spirit recalls the reality. You're not overanalyzing, you're awakening, and your perceptiveness is the indication that your moment has arrived. If you've ever whispered, "Something rescued me, but I don't know what," that was your endorsement. When your life paused just long enough to circumvent catastrophe, when you woke up altered after traversing what should have ended you, that wasn't capricious, that was divine intervention. You've been altered, even if you're still discovering the implications. You were never meant to conform to the established norm. You were born to shatter it, to awaken slowly, then instantaneously. And if this communication resonates even slightly, comprehend this. Your story has always been divinely orchestrated. Perplexity wasn't failure. It was part of your purification. It maintained your seeking. It exposed you for the reality when it arrived, and now it has. The steps of a virtuous individual are directed by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. You weren't tardy. You weren't imagining it. You weren't damaged. You were being positioned. Even what felt like deferral was God sharpening your spirit for destiny. It was heaven's method of articulating, not yet, not like this. You weren't being punished. You were being preserved. Your isolation was not empty. It was a period of shaping, a concealed space where heaven enveloped you until everything was prepared. Many who rushed ahead of you exhausted themselves prematurely. Some entrances you pleaded to open would have ruined your calling. Some connections you strove to maintain would have diminished your light. The deferral was sacred clemency. There is a prescribed time for everything and a season for every undertaking beneath the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. And now a change is occurring. You can perceive it in your chest. Time is catching up to you. The postponement is receding. Acceleration is present. What once consumed years will unfold rapidly. Everything lost will revert in divine form. Everything you assimilated in silence will now benefit others. You were spared for a rationale. The enemy attempted repeatedly, but couldn't impede what heaven secured. You weren't abandoned. You were reserved for influence. You are not merely a survivor. You are a symbol. You were concealed for refinement, not rejection. Heaven was honing your spirit for the weight of your assignment, and now you ascend, complete, prepared, and precisely on schedule. The path forward, chosen one. Now that the reality has found you, don't just perceive it, embody it. The veil has lifted and your spirit recognizes what your mind spent years trying to grasp. You were never journeying alone, never suffering without justification, never surviving by chance. The burden you've endured was not a curse, it was preparation for what you were born to contribute to this world. Consequently, as you progress, do it with deliberation, initiate your mornings in tranquility. Even 5 minutes of silence can recalibrate your spirit and remind your soul who is in command. Heed your physical self. It communicates. That heaviness you feel when you're in the wrong surroundings, trust it. That peace that materializes when you're synchronized, pursue it. Guard your vitality fiercely. Not everything and not everyone merits access to your presence. Affirm life over yourself daily. Don't just anticipate protection. Declare it. Articulate it aloud. I am covered. I am guided. I am chosen. Speak these affirmations not because you feel potent, but because power responds to articulation. Dedicate time to create, write, move, sing, construct, because creativity is one of the purest expressions of God's essence operating through you. Let your customary activities reflect your awareness. Abstain when you're indistinct. Record in a journal when you're overwhelmed. Illuminate a candle and sit in quietude when the world becomes noisy. Minor actions in the tangible realm trigger significant transformations in the spiritual. And most importantly, do not diminish yourself. You've been extracted from the fire, not to obscure your radiance, but to illuminate spaces others are apprehensive to enter. Carry your story not as excess baggage, but as a testament, a tool of light. You don't need to persuade anyone of your calling. Just proceed within it. Let your healed existence accomplish what your injured rhetoric never could. This is your time not to strive, but to recollect, not to pursue, but to align. Heaven already allocated space for you. Now step in and occupy your position. The concluding prayer, chosen one. Now that the veracity has been disclosed and your spirit has been roused, it's time to validate this instant in supplication. This isn't just any prayer. This is a sacred covenant, a spiritual initiation, and a declaration of harmony with the will of the Most High. Wherever you are, take a profound breath, calm your soul, and let these words speak from your core to heaven. Heavenly Father, the one who was and is to arrive, the omnipotent, the keeper of my breath, the initiator of my days, the custodian of my destiny. Today I approach you not as a stranger, not as a wanderer, but as one who recollects, one who now comprehends that nothing in my narrative has been random, that every postponement, every escape, every struggle was a component of a divine blueprint that you formulated long before I drew my first breath. Lord, thank you for the episodes that attempted to shatter me but failed. Thank you for the assaults I never even anticipated and the ones I did that never held the final verdict. Thank you for sparing me time and again in ways I will never completely grasp, for enveloping me in gloom, for sustaining me in quietude, for extending your hand into the abyss when I could no longer ascend. You rescued me when I didn't even recognize I was in danger. You maintained my respiration when I had no fortitude left to contend. Today I shed every vestige of false identity that was pronounced over me. Every designation that fear, trauma, and confusion tried to fasten to my name. I sever agreement with the falsehood that I am inadequate, undeserving, unprepared. I am who you declare I am, chosen, appointed, consecrated, preserved for purpose. You did not save me for survival alone. You saved me to awaken something holy, to convey your light into this world, to be a conduit of restoration, of sagacity, of unyielding and magnificent truth. Holy Spirit, activate every latent endowment within me. Let what was buried now ascend. Let what was postponed now accelerate. Let what was damaged now be rendered whole. I embrace the fire that purified me. I embrace the scars that instructed me. I embrace the quietude that prepared me. I no longer refer to my agony as punishment. I call it preparation. I no longer grieve the wilderness. I view it now as the incubation place where heaven whispered secrets into my spirit. I speak vitality over my cognition, tranquility over my inner self, vigor over my prospects. May divine timing direct me, divine protection shield me, divine wisdom guide me. May my pronouncements carry significance. May my existence alter environments. May my steps harmonize with every mandate you have inscribed for me. Even when the road is vague, I rely on the one who summoned me. Even when the entrances are sealed, I rely on the one who possesses the keys. God, remove from me everything and everyone not dispatched by you. Detach me from anything sent to distract, defer, or destroy. I release bitterness, I release fear, I release regret, and in its stead, I assume joy. I assume power, I assume sacred clarity. Let my life become a living affirmation. Let my story speak even when I am silent. Let others witness the evidence of you within me, not because I am flawless, but because I am proof. Proof that you still save, proof that you still communicate, proof that even now in a world full of noise, there are those you are summoning by name. And so I state, not with hesitation, but with sacred conviction, I am prepared, I am chosen, I am covered. I am rising in the name of Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah. Amen. Thank you for participating with me in this sacred instant. If this supplication spoke to your spirit, don't allow it to pass in silence. Type I receive it. Amen. In the comments is a symbol of agreement and activation. Your words possess influence, and this simple reply denotes your readiness. Ensure to subscribe so you remain connected to every communication sent to guide, confirm, and strengthen you. This is not the finale. It's the commencement of your synchronization. You are not solitary on this expedition. Until the next time, remain grounded, remain covered, and remain prepared.